Hello and welcome to FanCookingTastic. Today we're going to be like Peter, who's picked some peppers, but we're not going to pickle them. And what's a peck? For this wonderful episode of Pepper Nachos, you're going to need a standard helping of rice, 1 tomato, chopped into bits, 1 sweet onion, also chopped into bits, a few garlic cloves, chopped into tiny bits with the chopper-upper thingy, a leftover chicken breast, or if you have to cook it, cook one, but it's also chopped into little bits and pieces. A few handful of shepherd peppers, chili powder, dried basil leaves, dried oregano, dried winter savory, and our favorite curry powder, with some extra virgin olive oil, some cheddar cheese, about 2 cups grated, and feta cheese, Balkan style, also broken up into bits and pieces. Hello and welcome to the show. We are using today a huge amount of peppers that grew in the garden over the summertime. We tried to grow really big ones, didn't quite work. We got all kinds of different size peppers, shepherd pepper. This one's a shepherd pepper. We also had tried to grow, regular California style peppers. They're really tiny though. But today we're going to make a dish that's going to make use of all the peppers you saw at the start of the show. So we're going to get right to it, because we got a lot of stuff. As you saw in the ingredients, we're going to have a lot of things cut up, ready to go in. We're going to cook it all up, stuff the peppers, and bake them. And hopefully it's going to turn out just tasty. So, first, little secret, although cutting peppers can be kind of mundane, we're just going to take the lids off. We're not going to really keep the lids to these. They need a lot of cleaning and scrubbing, but feed the green bin. And to get them out, usually, you see ceiling cam, usually 3 anchors inside a pepper. So the easy way, before you even cut it, is just go around the inside, and then you can get the seed blob. Keep the seeds if you want to. You could try growing peppers the next year. We've done that. It's turned out, hit and miss, but it works. And we try and get all the extra gunk out and just cut it in half. We're not going to be doing a full stuffed pepper. We're going to get into a half stuffed pepper. Is your pepper half full or half empty? So there's our peppers. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on them, because when they're baking, that just helps it out. This is our fantastic, semi-automatic oil dispenser, as we saw happily happen in one of our shows there. Just a bit of olive oil, not too much, and just stir it all around. Get it all nicely coated. These are all the peppers we had pretty much from the garden. We grew some jalapenos too, but they're a little bit small. They're probably going to be good for snacking. That's going to be good. So we just toss all this stuff around. Nicely coated. And we'll just let that sit a bit, because we're going to go over here to the stove. We're going to get our stove on, and we're going to put medium heat. Remember, always cooking with gas on medium heat. But we're going to use a little bit of the olive oil to put in the pan. And what I've gone and done ahead of time is I have cooked up a chicken breast. In fact, it's a great way to use any leftover chicken you've got, this dish. So, as you see here, we've got our chicken breast. We're going to toss that in a second once this oil gets heated up. We'll grab our little pepper spoon here now. And a little spoon holder thingy. There. Okay, we're also going to do some onion. So we'll get that in first, because that's got to do its thing. Soften up. You don't want it too chunky. We're even going to put the garlic in there. For the garlic, as you saw in the ingredients segment of the show, using our handy dandy little garlic chopper upper thingy, that's wheel driven. Some tomato, a little bit of tomato, and while that's just sitting there, we're gonna go back over here. We got to do some laboratory work with the mortar and pestle. This is a fantastic little tool, this thing. So let's see, what are we going to toss in here today? We're going to toss in a little bit of winter savory, just a pinch. This is an awesome little herb because it's of the rosemary family, but it's not as bitter or sharp as rosemary. It's actually minty and peppery all at the same time. And oregano. This is all stuff, by the way, that we grow in our little garden in the front. Fresh herbs, we hang them here. It looks all witchy like certain times when all of it's drying. We'll get some basil leaves in there. Arbitrary amounts. I'm just doing the old, if it smells good, dump it in. If it's too much, oh, speaking of too much, we're ready for the curry powder. Carefully tap it in. Success. We learned our lesson in a previous show. Now, with the chili powder, however, we maybe not have learned our lesson. Or maybe we have. Oh, okay, we got it, but just. These things here, they're out to get me. Table twins, salt and pepper. Put a little bit in there. I wasn't counting. Were you counting? And some salt. There. And now we got a lovely little blend. There you go, ceiling cam. Lovely little blend. And we're going to crush it all up like a mad scientist. No. You have to crush it up because all the herbs are leafy still. And what this does is when they dry, it locks everything into the leaf. So this is opening up all the oils in the leaf, letting all the flavors get through. And this we're going to dump in with our vegetables in a second. Just pound the heck out of that, twist it around, and pretend you're making a secret potion. All right. That's pretty good. See, now we got that nicely crushed. Maybe that camera can see it better. Nicely crushed up, all ready to roll. So let's pop it in to our cooking pan, our fan cooking pan. And we have rice cooking over here. Sure, you can see behind me the steam whistling away. It's not a teapot, it's a rice pot. Anyway, we just toss this around to see how that sort of blends. Now, for those of you with smell-o-vision, this smells pretty darn good right now. We're going to toss in the chicken, more or less just to heat it up. And I'm actually going to put in a little dash of water. There you go. And we're just going to stir this around. This is going to be part of our filling. I might add just a little bit. Actually, let's see what we got kicking around in the fridge in here. I see some chicken broth. Oh, give that a good shake. Check the expiry date. Make sure we're not going to poison everybody. Oh, it's good for about 400 years. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to add a little bit of that. There, about a half a cup, give or take. And we'll just let that reduce because we're going to want to get the rice in here. We're going to make this whole filling. Doesn't that look good? Boy, say if you could smell it. Whew. That's fantastic. Okay, we're just going to let that do its thing. The rice is doing its thing. Well, that's all munching away. Let's get these peppers all lined out. We're going to use two kinds of cheese today. We've got grated cheddar cheese, Mouse's favorite, and cubed feta cheese, Greek Mouse's favorite. So, let's lay all these peppers out. They've got oil on both sides. I wanted to mention, I'm using something under here. You see this paper? It's parchment paper. Parchment paper. So not wax paper. Unless you want a candle coated and stuck to the outside of your pepper, do not use wax paper. Use parchment paper. Parchment, burn, it's meant to be. So you can use that in the oven. Foil, you could get away with, but I'm afraid the peppers just might stick to it and fry to it. Now, this is interesting. This is where your Tetris skills come in handy. And sitting in the background in the crew, we have one of the most foremost Tetris specialists in the universe, my wife. We're trying to fit all these things on here, and we're running out of room. Something tells me I'll just be spooning the meat all over these peppers, almost like pepper nachos. We might be onto something here. We might be making pepper nachos. Anyways, feed the sink, the dirty dishes.
Thank you. I was hungry.
Check our stove here again. This filling is pretty much good. We don't want to make the tomatoes completely mush. So we're going to turn that right off and hunt down the lid. Oh, I put the lid all the way over here. I'll be right back, folks. Lid shield. Anyways, we're going to keep that covered up because this rice is about halfway through. Let's check our peppers. So what should we do with these? Well, we're going to have herbed up filling and we're going to have rice with it. So I think we're just going to take a small break. This show is brought to you by Gin and Tonic Martini drink stuff. I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube. Is that allowed on YouTube? Do you know? Anybody know? Probably not. This show is brought to you by a look-alike Gin and Martini, but really it's water with ice. There, that could be better. Okay, cheese and that. I guess I can put our herbs away. Doodling in the kitchen while we wait. La 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 la. Oh, I'm still waiting for everything to cook over there, but I had a thought. While you're waiting for things to cook on the stovetop too, get your oven ready. Turn it on to that magic number of 350. And don't fall asleep in the oven. Wouldn't be a good thing. Okay, everything's been cooking for quite a while now. The filling's pretty much almost ready. We're going to check that rice. So over here to the stovetop and our magic rice cooker. Let's have a look. How are we doing here? Oh, it's almost ready. Now, usually you're going to cook rice till it's very, very dry. But because we're going to be putting into a filling and it's going to take on more of this moisture in here, we want to pretty much call it quits on that and transfer it over into our pan. So get our magic glove. Hello, I'm the magic glove. Oh boy, this show is really full of sillies, isn't it? Okay, put our rice in here. Put our rice cooker back and stir in the rice. Pretty much turn your burner right off because this rice will now soak up any liquid that's left over in the filling. So we've got ourselves like a chicken herb curry type filling. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm looking up closely because made my glasses foggy. Okay.
Stir that. And that's pretty much ready. So you cover it up, burn it off, and we're just going to let that do its thing. Now, we have a decision to make here. Kind of like chicken and the egg. Do we put the cheese in first or the filling in first? Well, I think we're going to sprinkle this cheddar on top, but I think we might do well to put these cubes of feta inside the peppers. Now, I want to talk about this feta for a minute, because normally feta is extremely dry. This is a very wet, creamy feta, Balkan style. In fact, you know what? I just must try one. Oh, that's like cream cheese. Oh, yummy. Yum, yummity, yum, yum. Here, up close. That is very creamy cheese. So, I think what we'll try to do is we're going to, it doesn't break up too well, so we're just going to try and squish little bits into each pepper and then make our rounds. So, see, see how gooky the fingers can get working with Balkan feta cheese? But you know what? It's nice. The other nice thing about this Balkan feta is that it's not vinegary or pickly tasting like dry feta. But this stuff here, wow, it's really good. Would you like to try a piece over there, camera crew lady? Before I put it all into the peppers?
Yes, please.
Oh, we have a little visitor. Those of you who tune into the show regularly might know William as the sheriff sitting in our Bandito Taco episode in Series 1, and also as our associate pie maker. So come on over, Will. Come on over, grab a piece of gooky Balkan cheese here. It looks gross, but it's tasty. That's a thumbs up, folks.
A+.
Oh, nice. Thanks for stopping by, Will.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
How about you, darling? Would you like some? I call our camera crew lady darling because if I don't, she'll get really angry with me. The magic hand comes in. It's not bad. We just might buy that more often. What do you think? What's your verdict? It's okay. All right. It's not bad. Yeah. Yes, it is better. See? Why? Because it's what? Creamy. You like it better because it's creamy. Brought to you by Balkan feta cheese. There you go. There's my singing talents. You haven't heard that before, folks. Let's see. Some there. Oh, there's a big pepper. You know, you could almost spread this cheese with a knife. Now that I think about it. Which I wonder if I should do that quick. Let's try. Take a little spoon, turn our thing sideways, and just see if we can squish some of this cheese inside. Oh yeah, there, that's kind of working. So here we go. There, this looks like a mess now, doesn't it? Okay. That was just my excuse to get more cheese on the spoon so I could eat it. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. So we have our wonderful filling. Now, we're going to try our best to get the filling in each pepper. Before I do that, let's get a hot thing out and put this here. So I guess we're just going to scoop and plop and sort of pack it in there. Do a scoop. We're just going to, some of it's going to go all over the place. I can foresee this literally being like nachos. So you know what? Let's just do that. Now, I must say, don't feel obliged to try and grow your own peppers just because I got them from our garden. That's kind of pretentious, isn't it? So, what you do, especially at this time of year, is you head to your grocery store and they have the shepherd peppers on sale now in a huge basket because at this time of year, a lot of people are making their sauces and as well as, things like this, stuffed peppers and things that they're going to keep and hold over for the winter. So I urge you to head to your local grocery and pick up shepherd peppers if you can't grow any. And you know what? Truth be told, we could barely grow some ourselves. So we're just using what you have, what you got kicking around in the kitchen. Now let's see, who else needs some here? Oh, that's pretty good. We're just going to smuck this all around a little bit, flatten it out, and see what we get. Test this out. Okay. Now for the cheese de resistance. We're just going to sprinkle this all over, sort of like building a pizza. So we have a pizza episode coming up. No, we don't. We had one. We had one in series 1, and you saw us use this cheese all over the pizza. So it's the same concept. Just make sure everything gets coated. This is a good use-up meal. There. Now we're coated with cheese. There. That's pretty good. I think in the oven we go. Here we go. Going in the oven. Get our oven light on. And we're going to put it in top rack. 350. There we go. You can see it in there. Cheese. Yummy. We're going to bake that at 350. And we're going to set a timer for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. We're going to check it after 20 minutes. So the oven's on 20 minutes. We're going to check it after 20. It might need a few more after that, but we'll circle back and check it out. So until then, hang on. All right, all that stuff's been cooking in the oven. We actually did a little bit longer time than the 20 minutes. We put it about 30, 35. Oh, and there's the oven. So we'll head on over here, turn the timer off from screaming at us, cancel the oven, and I think it's pretty much ready. Needed a little bit more time because when I checked it partway through, the toppings were cooking great, but the peppers were still pretty hard. So add an extra bit of time. They're going to get softer. So we better bring them out. Grab our hot things, whatever you want to call them. Pop it there. And we're going to pull this out of the oven first here. Oh, now this looks good and sounds good. Hopefully we can hear that sizzling. So we're going to get our spatula all set and ready to roll. We're going to bring it over here to serve, but we're going to let the illustrious stove cam capture it first because it's a beautiful thing. Now, so it is like nachos. It worked out kind of like nachos, but instead of nacho chips, we've got peppers. So, oven light off. There we go. So let's serve ourselves up some of these delectables. Let's see, who's going to get the first bit? Oh, wow, look at that. A nice little pepper. And you know what? It's actually stayed in the pepper. Hey, this is pretty good. A little bit of negotiating out of the pan without too much falling back in. So let's see. Well, you know what? Because we'll stop by. We'll make this Williams plate today. And his first, he gets the first dibs. But you know what we're going to do too, just to help it out? We're going to add some chips on the side here that we can then use for dips, salsa, hummus, whatever you wish. So there is our experiment. The stuffed, well, half-stuffed peppers with cheese and chicken and everything else you got laying around the kitchen with some chips on the side. Pretty easy meal to make and great for when the weather gets cooler. Hope you enjoy. Let me know how it works out and send me your favorite filling? If you didn't use chicken, what did you use? I want to know so we can try it on a future episode. Hope you enjoy it and keep FanCookingTastic.
For more FanCookingTastic episodes, click these links that seem to be filling up my kitchen. And please like, comment, and subscribe.